Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back with another review. And today I am excited to bring to you from the Hasbro PulseCon event of sorts. This is one of their convention exclusives. It is the Birth of a Hero set. It features Alpha Trion, Orion Pax, and Vector Sigma. I don't know if Vector Sigma counts as a character, but it's there. This is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Obviously, Alpha Trion is a repaint, retool of the Studio Series 86 figure Scourge, whereas Orion Pax continues the tradition of being a repaint and retool of a Cup figure. In this case, it is the buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio 86 version of Cup. So which basically means there is no clear plastic on this figure. We will do comparisons later on. And of course, this set does include Vector Sigma. Now, if you are a longtime collector such as I am, you might remember from the Transformers Collectors Club that it was one of their box sets as an add-on included a Vector Sigma. And I believe it was made by the people from the website unicron.com. I don't know if that site is still around, but that for the longest time, that was really the closest we got to an official Vector Sigma. Well, Hasbro has gone ahead and made it. We'll take a look at this guy real quick. Now, all the accessories here, the blasters, the parts of Vector Sigma, Orion Pax does include a repainted Energon treat. I left that in the box. I think you should too, but get these guys out of the way. They all come wrapped in tissue paper, so be very careful when opening it. But Vector Sigma comes in 3 pieces. You have well, actually more like 4. You have the ball, the base of the stand, the shaft, and of course the key. Now, what I highly recommend, and I mean highly recommend, is that you do not push the key in all the way. I had a dickens of a time, and yes, I said dickens, old-timey English works, pulling it out after I put it in. There's a lot of like maybe mold flash, paint. Just push it in about this far, and you'll be able to pull it out fairly easy. It is a nicely detailed key. So there is that. So we can just plug this in and there you go. This makes for a nice display in any Transformer collection. Just in general, since Vector Sigma transcends lines and characters and what have you. So bring back Alpha Trion and Orion Pax, and really there's not much to see here in vehicle mode in terms of the differences. I of course will bring in Scourge and Cup to do proper comparisons in robot mode, but one thing I do want to mention is there's a lot of paint on these, and I did notice that there was a lot of tolerance issues that again could just be my copies that was due to the paint. And also especially on Alpha Trion here, I felt a difference in quality of the plastic between it and Scourge. So I really don't, that could be me, but who knows? I mean, as you can see, there is some gappage. I mean, panels just don't want to stay together, and it is quite upsetting. But then again, did we ever really see Alpha Trion's vehicle mode? You know, so there's that. I mean, how many of you are going to display it in its vehicle mode? There is a lot of, surprisingly, there is some retooling besides the head to Alpha Trion. So we'll get to that when we get to robot mode. And of course, here's Orion Pax. I do believe this is now the 4th transforming Orion Pax figure, and is the 3rd to be based off of Cup. We do have that one from Powers of the Prime that was Orion Pax that transformed into a Peterbilt cab and then merged with the trailer to become Optimus Prime. But most of them have been various cup figures, and I have to say, I think that this is it. I think they've nailed it. We don't really need to see an Alpha Trion like this anymore because they've done well. And you know what? I forgot the Thrilling 30 Orion Pax. You know, so we had the original E-Hobby, the Thrilling 30, the Titans Return, the Power of the Primes, which was a very different, and then now we have this one. So we've had 5 Orion Paxes over the years, of which 3 are based on Cup. One looks like it could have been a Cup, and then one we have is completely different. So the vehicle modes are you know, there is, you can see more of the retooling in Orion Pax here, just because the front has been redone, so it's completely different from Cup and gives you more of that Orion Pax look. So what we're going to do now is we'll pause, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look at each figure individually. The transformations are the same, so we'll skip that. And unlike my Slicer review, where I erroneously thought I reviewed Wheeljack, I did do reviews of each versions of these original molds, so I will link those in this video so you can get them. But we'll pause and be back after these messages. And starting things off, here's Alpha Trion compared to Scourge. And I have to say, there was a lot more new here than I originally thought. Obviously, the heads and collar pieces are different, but this entire chest section, completely new. The upper arms, completely new. In terms of the hands, as we know, Scourge has the left open hand, the Sweep had the right open hand, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove the weapon here from Alpha Trion, whoever saw him use it. Alpha Trion has both sets of open hands. The waist section is the same. The upper legs are different, but the lower legs and the feet are the same. So there is that. So there's a lot here going on to make this look different, and I appreciate that immensely. One thing I really like is they went ahead and they retooled and put on new tails for the cape pieces. This is the parts that are the underside of the boat. You know, you have the classic almost bat wings with Scourge. Here you have more of a regal flow with Alpha Trion. Obviously, you know, posing the cape, that's going to be up to you how you decide to do it and stuff like that. Let's turn them around, give you a shot of the back. You can see that, yeah, basically from this angle, there's a lot more similar than different. One thing I do want to mention is I kind of had the feeling that on Alpha Trion, some of the plastic might have been a little warped, which was a little disappointing. But again, that could have just been mine. But yeah, very nice. Obviously, the heads are different. I think truly this is the best Alpha Trion figure we've gotten. This is surprisingly the 3rd Alpha Trion, official Alpha Trion figure we've gotten. There was the one from Powers of the Prime. There was the one that just came out in the Cyberverse line. And now we have this. And I think this is the best version. And much like Orion Pax, I think we're done. We don't really need another Alpha Trion, especially with the amount of work that Hasbro put in to give us this new figure. So again, how about we pause and we take a look at Orion Pax. And here's Orion Pax with Cup. Now, as I mentioned, Orion Pax is using the the retooled version of the Studio Series 86 Cup mold that was released in the buzzworthy Bumblebee line. All that really means is, by having a different color scheme, the clear plastic that's here on Cup has been removed. But that's gone anyway, because this is an entirely new chest section that looks much closer to the animation model that we saw of Orion Pax from the old cartoon. But that's not all. We have the similar waist section, it's just painted differently. believe it or not, the upper legs are different. You have a different pattern and design. Well, wait a minute. Actually, hmm, you know what? We do not. Here's what's happened, and I noticed this before I started recording. The arms were rotated the wrong way, and I thought that we might have had new arm pieces, but also the legs here are rotated the wrong way. So basically, what we need to do and make sure is rotate them around, and then oh, and we're being joined by Delilah. So go ahead and rotate the legs around so they're facing the right way. And the upper legs are the same as on Cup, but the lower legs, those entire shin and knee pieces, are completely new. And I appreciate that. I really do appreciate the effort there. Now, one thing I do want to mention, as I mentioned at the beginning, there's a lot of paint on Orion Pax, and unfortunately, that does affect. Ooh, Delilah just tried to nip at me. That does affect the ability to hold the weapon in the right hand. That's why I have it in the left hand. And so, yeah, other than that, now, Delilah, we're not going to nibble now, are we? That's about it. Obviously, the back is all the same now. And my cat was attacking me. Was there something about the review you didn't like? We have fun here. But yeah, as you can see, the back of the legs, all that the same. The backpack, a very clean backpack. Very nice. I really think Hasbro went above and beyond with both figures, but they really went above and beyond with Orion Pax. So how about we pause, and I'll come back with my final thoughts. And of course, here's a little classic image of Alpha Trion giving aid to Orion Pax as he begins to reformat him into Optimus Prime. I did forget to mention that the hidden feature of Cup is still present on Orion Pax. You can remove his limbs, the arms and legs and stuff like that. So if you want to have a bit more of a display. I was disappointed that even though these figures are released under the Legacy line, we didn't have some sort of backdrop included like Alpha Trion's workshop. That was a little disappointing. But it is very nice, and I really do like this set. Yeah, there are some quality issues, quality control issues, tolerance issues with some of the pieces, the tightness and looseness of joints, but your mileage may vary. All I know is I'm happy, and I think really with both of these molds, this should be the last that they're going to be used. And really, this should be the last time that Alpha Trion and Orion Pax are used as characters, because I think we've reached the pinnacle of design on what can be done with them, short of giving them 100% complete new molds, which I don't see Hasbro doing. As I mentioned, this was a Hasbro PulseCon exclusive, and thus is sold exclusively on the Hasbro Pulse website. I don't know if it's still available. There was a generous pre-order window for it, so if you missed it, I do apologize. Other retailers like Big Bad Toy Store or TF Source might get it, but you'd probably have to pay some sort of markup. But for me, I think the retail price is good enough. That's about it for the review. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. That does help with the algorithms to communicate to YouTube that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month or $12 a year. No thrills, no tiers, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. Things like light boxes, backdrops, tripods, stuff like that. But as I always say, and I know in these times, especially getting closer to the holidays, money might be a little bit tighter. Don't worry about me. Only give it if you got it. Patreon, as always, is a cherry on top of an already generous Sunday. So that's about it for the review. This is your old pal Chuck for Orion Pax and Alpha Trion. We will see you next time.